The trip is booked, the outfits are picked out, but what exactly do you need to take into the park for your park day? Let's break it down. All right, the Disney trip is booked and we are packing for our trip. The big question, what do you need to take into the park? What size bag do you need to take into the park? Can you take your bags on the rides? There's so many questions. Let's cover it all and break it down. So to answer the first question, you can take backpacks on all rides except for 2 at this time, Tron and Avatar. However, your backpack for Avatar, there's a cubby right behind you to put it in before you get into your seat. And then Tron has complimentary lockers for you to put them in. So you don't have to pay for a locker or worry about that. In all honesty, it just totally depends on what stage of life that you are in. If you have young kids and you need to bring formula, you're probably bringing a bigger backpack with, formula and diapers and all of that jazz in there and extra clothes. If you have a toddler who doesn't take formula anymore, but might just need a few snacks and diapers, you could bring a mid-size bag. So for me, I would choose a Loungefly. This is the size that I would bring with my toddler right now. So I have a 2-year-old. So I would bring this for her. Or in all stages of life, I always still bring my fanny pack or a crossbody. I love my fanny. I actually got this Mickey fanny pack in, I think it was like 2016 or 2015. I got it so long ago. I love this one so much. It has seen better days, but it is so big. It's got so many zippers. I love it. It's perfect. But in all seasons of life, I bring my fanny pack because it is just so nice to be able to have your wallet right there. Grab your stuff out of it. It's just quick and easy. However, if I was just with my toddler, didn't feel like bringing my fanny pack for whatever reason, even though I always have it on me, I would just use this. My wallet's going to fit in here. Diapers are going to fit in here. A few snacks are going to fit in here. The only thing that's not going to fit in here that is on my list is a water bottle. So let's break it down. Speaking of the list, what is on the list? What exactly do you need to bring into the parks? Again, for whatever stage of life you're in, it's going to be totally different depending on that stage. But what I recommend bringing to the parks first and foremost would be sunscreen. It is hot in Florida. The sun is hot in Florida. If you are that person who says, I don't need sunscreen, I'm fine, just bring the sunscreen. Just do it. Why risk a sunburn and ruin your trip for a sunburn? Most of us have had a sunburn and it hurts. So save yourself the headache, save your family the headache of hearing you gripe, and just bring the sunscreen. Next up, I would bring a refillable water bottle. So something that we do, and we've done a few times, is we have went and got the water bottles from Walmart. They're like the stainless steel water bottles, and I've let my kids decorate them with stickers and things like that. And we always bring a carabiner clip. The carabiner clip is great because it can just hook on any of your bags right here. If you don't have a stroller, which some people don't, it can hook on a stroller if you have one, but if not, it just hooks on right here. Your hands free, you don't have to carry it. It's perfect. And you want to stay hydrated. You will want to fill up your water bottle everywhere. There are refill stations everywhere. All the kiosks will give you water if you ask for it. The restaurants have water, everything, and you can fill up your bottle there. With that, so sunscreen, water bottle, and then next, speaking of staying hydrated, this is specifically something that I bring because I have POTS and I have to stay extra hydrated and I get hot very easily and overheated easily. So I bring liquid IV. I love it. It makes me feel better. But I'm not the only one who takes it on our trip. My husband also takes it. He loves it too. It just doesn't hurt to stay hydrated. Next up, I would recommend bringing a power bank for your phone with a charger. Highly recommend that. You are going to be on your phone a lot. Even if you are not using lightning lanes or multi-day lightning lanes and booking those rides, you're still probably going to be playing on your phone while you're in line, booking mobile ordering, checking ride times, all of that. It doesn't hurt to bring your charger. I would make sure you have that. We actually have one that we love. It is solar powered, so we can clip it with a carabiner clip onto our backpack if we have one, and it is charged by the sun, which is fantastic. So that is one we highly recommend. We actually have it on our Amazon list, and I can link that in the bottom of this video for you to check if you're curious. A few other things. If you are not a fan of getting wet, we would recommend a poncho. Dollar Tree ponchos work just fine. If you buy one at Disney, you are probably paying $10 to $15 for it. So I would highly, highly, highly recommend those Dollar Tree ponchos. Grab them, throw one in your bag, throw a couple for your family in your bag if you are not one to get wet. If you don't mind, you don't need it. Half the time we bring them and then somehow water gets in it anyway, so we just give up and we don't mind getting wet. But if you are someone who hates soggy clothes, bring the poncho. It's worth it. All right, another one on our list. We actually have a few different versions of this, but a fan. A handheld fan. They have the small ones that claps and close. It's also on our list. But we also have a neck fan. We actually have multiple neck fans. They're really nice. Just literally wear them around our neck, charge them in the room. It's fantastic. Again, I'm one who overheats easily. So for me, I like to do all the things I can to stay cool. If I have my big backpack, I might throw in a cooling tower or something else, but really just a small fan is just enough to suffice for me. Last, but certainly not least, snacks. I recommend some snacks. Theme park food is expensive if you've never been before. Delicious, so good, worth it. Get your Mickey pretzel, get your Dole Whip, get whatever you want. However, having some protein bars or Slim Jims, I've even brought a bag of grapes before, or crackers or something in your bag that will just help, if you're standing in line, you've got that long hour or 2 hour wait, your kiddo's hungry, you want a snack, just make sure no one's hangry, feed them a little something, something. I just like to have snacks at all times, so I would recommend snacks. All right, so now that we've covered what is in our park bag, let's talk about our luggage. Is there anything that you're not thinking of? We actually have a packing list. We can share our recommended packing list for you. If you want it, feel free to shoot us a message. We will send it over to you. For us, though, a couple things that we do that it's different that we have told other people and they have loved it. If we are flying in, we usually fly through Southwest. So because of that, we will always pack an extra bag full of snacks. Told you guys, we love snacks. But full of snacks for the hotel room. We will have, like I said before, Slim Jims, maybe some chips, protein bars, like muffins, early morning things, but just an entire suitcase full of snacks. Because once the end of our trip comes, we have all these souvenirs that we don't want to carry through an airport. So we load up the souvenirs. I collect popcorn buckets, so we might have a few of those each trip. But anyway, we put popcorn buckets in there, bubble wands, literally anything you can think of. Extra snacks we brought from there. We always buy like a Fun Rice Krispie treat or some of the goofy snacks, those kind of things. So we load all of that up in that suitcase that is now empty because we've eaten all the other snacks. So it is just a little trick that we have to make sure we get everything home. They do have luggage that you can buy in a lot of the gift shops in your resort. However, it's not something that people really want to do to pay $100 for an extra suitcase before they leave. So we recommend that. All right, a few other random items you might not have thought of. If you have a stroller, we always recommend something distinctive to put on the stroller. We usually use like glow sticks at night, make some kind of design looping them, just something that will stand out in the sea. And I mean the ocean of strollers that are in this park. When you park it outside of a ride, you will come out of the ride and there will be 100 more sitting there. So just something distinctive for you. I've seen them on Etsy where people make little like license plate type signs to hang on there with their name on it, just something. I will also recommend Body Glide for any chafing. Want to cover that. So, for the thighs, anywhere else you want, but Body Glide, highly recommend that. I also recommend like the blister bandages. You never know when your shoes are just going to rub on you. They might be shoes that you wear all the time, but when you put 20,000 steps a day in those shoes, it could feel totally different. So blister bandages, speaking of shoes, I always recommend bringing at least 2 pairs of walking shoes with you for your trip because all it takes is for day one, you to ride a water ride and your tennis shoes be soaked. And it takes forever for them to dry. So I highly recommend a second pair in your suitcase just in case you need them. Not saying you will, but just in case, it does not hurt. If you are going to the water park or you are swimming, we also usually bring the phone protectors, the little plastic little phone thingies. You stick your phone down in, you close it, and it keeps your phone from getting wet. They usually come on a lanyard. We love ours. We have had the same ones for like 5 years. We go to Disney a lot, Great Wolf Lodge a lot, places like that. So we utilize the heck out of those. They're really easy to still record and take photos if you want to. Obviously, you could put your phone in a locker, but if you want to get photos of your kids, it's the best way to do it. Another odd item that we keep in our luggage and sometimes bring to the parks, just depends on what park we're going to and what we're doing that day, is reusable straws. So Disney does paper straws, which is not the end of the world. Love the animals, but I don't love paper straws a lot. So we buy the plastic, or sometimes they have the metal collapsible reusable straws, and we buy those occasionally, and we'll bring them, especially if we have our kids with us, bring them to the parks because it just makes dining a lot easier than a chewed on or a paper straw. They're just the worst. The last of the random items we bring is occasionally I will bring 2 Tide Pods. All of the resorts have little laundry rooms on the property, and it's very rare, but there have been times where, our kid has just blown through whatever shirts they're wearing, everything, they've stained everything up, whatever has happened, and we have ran through our clothes a lot quicker than planned. And I have went and thrown a load in while they were swimming or something, because we like to stay at Pop Century a lot. It's one of our favorites. And so the Pop little laundry room is right by the pool. And so we have occasionally went and done a load in there. Along with that, I usually do pack just a small first aid kit with some Band-Aids, Tylenol, things like that in there in case it's needed for whatever reason. Again, it's not all the time that we're using that, but it's just something very small, like the little tiny first aid kits. It's something very small that is just handy to have in case of an emergency, in case you need it for whatever reason. All right, there is obviously a lot more that you could include in your bags. These are just some of the odd things that we include in ours when we are packing. So let us know what items that you feel like are just super random that you include in your bags when you go on your trip. Is there something you feel like we were missing? Let us know in the comments. All right, we'll see you next time.